Hello, Virgo. This is Catherine Allen. I'm a clairvoyant, medium, and astrologer, and I'm going to be picking 3 tarot cards to give you a reading for your month of February. So we have an eclipse tomorrow that is in Leo, and that means it's in your 12th house for Virgos. And that means that it's going to happen in some sort of unconscious or very deep place in you that you might feel a lot of change going on. Something that you don't even necessarily talk about or think about that much, and bam, something could just really come to light for you. So, we're going to just shuffle the cards and pick 3 for you. So, here's the deck. Just mixing them now, and we're going to cut and pull 3 cards for you. All right, so your first card is the Judgment card. Very interesting. Your second card is the 4 of Wands, and your third card is Temperance. Okay. So, the Judgment card, in certain decks, it's sort of represented like the Judgment Day, right? Standing before God to be judged. But really, the Judgment card, in this deck that I'm using, it's very different philosophy. This is the Judgment card there. In this case, it's not so much that you're looking up and you're waiting for God to judge you. Here I am, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I've done, judge me. That's not what it is. In this deck, it's more about the empowerment of stepping out and saying, this is my line, this is what I believe, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what happened to me. This is what I've decided based on all my knowledge, all my introspection, all the work I've done. Here I am. It's sort of a moment like that. So you might find that you feel compelled to stand up for yourself this month. You might feel that you need to stand your ground, that you need to set boundaries, and that you need to support yourself or share more of yourself than you normally do, and come out of the closet of something that you might normally hide. Doesn't have to be a huge thing. It's just anything that you normally keep introverted. You might now feel compelled to say, you know what, this is where I stand on that issue. And you might take a stand for yourself. Nobody's going to give you the answer with the Judgment card. There's nothing going to come along and say, hold your hand or tell you the time is now, or have 10 friends around you saying, yes, you're right, you're right. The Judgment card is you get there all by yourself. You take that step all by yourself based on what you believe. That's why it's a Judgment card. Because you have to surrender and say, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Assess me, do what you like, but this is who I am. Nobody can do that for you, right? So that is an interesting start to your month. Maybe that's going to come up with the eclipse tomorrow. Maybe there's going to be something around you that compels you to do that. Now, the 4 of Wands is a good card here in this deck. It means completion. And in other decks, the 4 of Wands is sort of like this lovely, happy marriage kind of coupley card in the Rider-Waite deck. In this deck, it's something else because it just, Aleister Crowley interprets everything different. In this deck, it's Venus in Aries. Here's the completion card. Everything is in a perfect wheel. Venus in Aries is somebody who is thinking of themselves and likes themselves. Somebody's going to balance their energy well and take care of themselves well. Completion is a great, like, it's fire because it's wands, but 4 is like it's stable. So think about the image of somebody who's made a perfect campfire that's going to burn for hours. It's not going to get out of control, and it's not too small that it's going to burn out. So Venus in Aries, you've found some sort of balance of taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. And this really does nicely go hand in hand with the Judgment card, doesn't it? So it's really a month of putting yourself first and being strong and taking a stand on your own behalf. Now, the Temperance card after, I'll show you. It's called Art in this deck, the Temperance card. It's sort of an alchemist or a witch, if you will. It's somebody who's mixing everything together. And my best analogy for the Temperance card is that things have to happen in a certain way, in their own timing, and we can't rush it. It's not all about us and our own timing. It's about grand timing. So think about if you were making a cake. You don't just schlunk everything in the bowl and beat it and expect a perfect cake, right? It'll bake into something. It won't be the best cake ever. But if you wait and you let the butter warm up to room temperature, and then you cream the butter extra long so that it's really nice, and then you make sure that you've sifted your sugar, or that you have real vanilla extract, not crappy stuff, you get a better cake. You see where I'm going? Each of these things takes the time it takes, right? You can't just order the cake to be made quickly if you want it made well. So it's going to be a little bit of juggling and timing. So there's a little bit of patience involved this month, but not really patience with taking a stand or putting yourself first. That you've got to do right away. But you might be sort of like, you might come out and say, you know what, I need a 4-day work week. Wouldn't that be nice? But, you know, something like that. You're coming out and saying, that's what I need. Or you're coming out and saying, well, I'm sorry, but I'm this kind of person, and I like to be treated this way, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. And that's putting yourself first in self-love. But then the patience comes in where, okay, maybe you're waiting a little while for other people to accept what you've said. You know, they need their time to digest that you might have done something new or different or strong. Mm-hmm. So allow people time to wrap their head around this change, and allow yourself to wrap your head around these changes. But definitely, if there's anything in your life where you feel like, I've had enough, or I'm tired of being scared of something, or it's time that I let people know, not to force yourself, but if you're ready and you can stand and do it strongly, then do it. And you're going to find that life rolls better and better for you. So overall, I would say this is going to be a good month for you, Virgo. So if you would like a longer reading, personalized to you, and a longer time frame than a month, then you can reach me at river-rain.com, or you can message me here below in the comments, and we can set up a time just for you. All right, so I wish you a very happy month. Take care.